In a quiet Indian village surrounded by fields and hills, there lived an old lady named Meera. She was known to everyone, young and old. Meera was nearly 80 years old. Her silver hair was always tied in a neat bun, and deep wrinkles lined her gentle face. She wore simple cotton saris and walked slowly, leaning on her wooden stick, yet her eyes sparkled with warmth. Meera lived alone in a small mud brick hut at the edge of the village, where the path turned into the forest. Her husband had died long ago, and her children had moved to big cities. They visited rarely, but Meera never complained. Each morning, she woke before sunrise, washed her face with cold water, and lit a small oil lamp in front of her deity. After praying, she walked to the village square. Even in her old age, she helped clean the temple and fed stray animals. Though she had little money, she always gave food or coins to anyone in need. She believed in sharing. Children adored her. They gathered around every evening to listen to her stories of gods. They fondly called her Dadi, and she called them her little stars. Behind Meera's hut stood a great banyan tree. It had thick branches, swinging roots, and a wide canopy like a green umbrella. Meera had planted the tree when she was just a young girl, with a small sapling gifted by her grandfather. As Meera grew older, so did the tree. It had become a part of her life, like a quiet friend who never left her side. She would sit under it, talk to it, and rest in its shade. The tree gave her peace, especially on lonely days. The banyan became a landmark in the village. People sat beneath it to escape the heat or enjoy an afternoon nap. Birds built nests in its branches. Squirrels played on its roots, and children climbed its limbs with laughter. Meera treated the tree like her child. She swept around it, tied sacred threads to its trunk, and watered it every week. One morning, government officers came to the village. They carried maps, took measurements, and marked several places. They said a new road would be built, connecting the village to the city. It would bring progress and speed. But when Meera returned home, she saw a red X painted on her hut and on her beloved banyan tree. "This tree will be cut down," said one officer when Meera asked. "It stands in the way of the new road." Meera's heart broke. She touched the trunk of the tree, her eyes filling with tears. "This tree is not in the way. It is the way," she whispered. That night, she didn't sleep. She sat under the banyan, stroking its roots, remembering all the years they had spent together. At sunrise, she made her decision. She tied a rope around the tree and stood beside it, holding the knot tightly. When the workers arrived with axes, Meera stood firm. "You will have to cut me first before you touch this tree." Villagers gathered, surprised and unsure. A small boy tugged her sari and asked, "Dadi, why are you standing there?" Meera smiled and said, "Because I'm protecting my oldest friend." Her voice was calm, but her stance was unshakable. One by one, others joined her. A young farmer stood beside her, then a woman, then the children. Soon, people formed a circle around the tree, holding hands and standing together in silence. Someone took a photo and posted it online. It caught attention. Reporters began arriving with cameras and microphones. A young journalist asked Meera, "Why are you doing this, Maji? It's just a tree." Meera looked into the camera and said, "This tree gave me shade when I had no roof, peace when I had no company, and memories that kept me alive." Her words touched many. Newspapers printed her story. TV channels broadcasted her image standing beside the banyan. Environmentalists joined the protest. Banyan trees save soil, store water, and purify the air, they explained. Meera stood every day by the tree, in sun and rain. Volunteers brought her food, water, and blankets. Even doctors came to check on her, warning her to rest. But Meera refused to leave the tree's side. The movement grew. More people from nearby villages came and stood with her. Some sang songs, others held signs. Finally, after many weeks, the government officials returned with new papers in their hands. "The road will be changed," one officer announced. "The tree and the hut will stay." A cheer rose through the crowd. Children danced, and villagers hugged each other in celebration. Meera leaned her head gently against the banyan trunk and whispered, "We did it, my friend." The government declared the banyan tree a protected site. A small park was built around it, with benches and flowering plants. A signboard was placed near the tree. "The tree of Meera, protected by love." Schools brought children to the park to teach them about courage, kindness, and nature. Artists painted the tree. Writers wrote poems about Meera and her love for the banyan. Years passed peacefully. Meera continued to sit beneath the tree every evening, humming soft songs. One day, she grew ill. She was taken to the clinic where the doctors said she was very weak. Meera whispered, "Please take me back to my tree." Villagers gently carried her on a cot to the banyan. She lay under it, smiling faintly. "You and I, we've grown old together," she said. That night, she passed away peacefully. The whole village mourned, but Meera's tree still stood strong, alive with birdsong and laughter, her love rooted forever in its shade.